Hey there! Today we're going to be talking about the different investment decisions that we make throughout our lives. This is Money Wise with Rina Hicks, where we create, grow, and preserve our wealth. So some time ago, a friend of mine shared with me a story about a man who was, at the time they were sharing the story, 65 years old. And this man had worked in an amazing organization, had reached the peak of his career, earned really an awesome salary on any standards, and had bought a home during the time of his career. And he bought a home in a nice, beautiful suburb, huge, massive home, took his kids to the best international schools that were available at the time. And it was now retirement age, and he had to retire from his job. So he retired and got his retirement package and left. Now, with the money that he got from his retirement from the office, he actually spent some of it paying off the debt or the mortgage for the house, because he hadn't finished paying. He'd been paying for this house over quite a number of years, I think 20 or so years, and so he needed to finish the mortgage so that then he could carry on with his retirement. And so he did. And after he paid it off, it was fantastic, because now he didn't have any obligations. But one of the things that he didn't think about is how much money he actually required to continue to sustain his living standards as he had been before. And it got quite crazy. He actually ended up having to sell his home. Very sad. His home that he had lived in for over 30 years. In Karen or whatever the suburb was, he had to sell the home. And so he then used the money to start investing, because he had unfortunately not spent any of the money that he had been earning on buying assets, but rather on his home and on paying for his children's education. And I think at 65, that's when you start to kind of spend and gift people, as opposed to starting to invest at that stage. So I'd like us to go through what I call the investment life cycle, to just see if you're 23, if you're 30, if you're 45, if you're 60, what should you really be doing, and where should your focus be? I'll show you in just a minute. So generally there are three phases. The first phase is an accumulation phase. This is where you spend your time, energy, effort on trying to accumulate as much as you can where assets are concerned. Some of you may have to take some debt. I mean, there's things that you must buy to be able to get to where you need to go. So most of us will be buying our first cars, perhaps trying to raise money for deposit on an investment such as a home or a piece of land, or starting to accumulate a shares portfolio. And at this time, during the accumulation phase, you can take a bit of risk, because you have time to be able to get over any challenges that may occur, or any drops in prices or any losses. You have time to recover. Then the second phase is a consolidation phase, and this would typically happen between the age of 45 to 60. So your accumulation phase is from about, say, 20 to about 45, and then from 45 to about 60, 65 is when you're consolidating what you have. You don't have the ability to take on as much risk as you could before, because during this phase you're trying to save for your child's education, you're thinking about retirement, you're thinking about your mortgage and how you could pay it off as quickly as possible, and other such like goals. And so your aim is, to consolidate what you have. Your risk profile in terms of the kind of investments you would choose during this period of time would be less risky than your accumulation phase. And then there's the spending phase, which is over 60 or after retirement, or up over 70, where you spend your time paying for medical bills, you're spending on holidays, you're spending on your children and your grandchildren, because you just have spent money, spent time accumulating all this money, and now it's time to start giving and enjoying life. So I find it interesting that a lot of us make the decision at 27, when you've been working years, and yes, you've made some money, to buy certain things that perhaps don't add value later on, or even if they do, then you eat so much into time and don't take advantage of the power of compounding to be able to grow your money, but spend early and then lose out later in life. So the idea is to just keep in mind, if you're between 20 and 45 and you're earning money, your aim is to try and consolidate, buy assets. The first thing you do is buy an asset. You need to automate this money and say that 20%, 10%, whatever you can afford, goes straight into an account where you're able to then now invest in something. If you're 45 to 60, 65, you're consolidating. So you're still investing, but you're now trying to put these assets together, trying to continue to build on them, and then so that your spending phase, you can spend on the cruise somewhere or buying whatever car or home or all the different dreams that you have, you're able to do. So let's not mix this up so that we're able to enjoy our lives. I mean, you don't know how long you're going to live for. So if you spend everything by the time you're 60, 65 and you live till 90, then you get into trouble. Thank you for watching that video. I hope it's helped you. If you have any questions, please do post them. Our contact details are below. And so do write to us on sema@moneywise.co.ke. And guess what? We have finally launched our book. My book is out. Moneywise, it's out and it's now officially available. You can actually buy it online on mymook.com. We'll post a link down so that you can see, but you can just log on to the website and search the product, or the merchant is Wajiku Limited, and you'll be able to get Moneywise available there. It can be delivered to you, and if you prefer to pick up from the store, you can do that, and the information is on the website and you'll be able to do that. It's also available at Textbook Center. It's available at Keswick bookshops. So do get yourself a copy. If you have a copy already, buy it as a gift for a friend, somebody getting married. It will help them. So thank you so much. Please do share the videos, subscribe, so that you get to know what else is coming up. We have some interesting things in store for you guys. So stay tuned. This is Rina Hicks with Moneywise, where we create, grow, and preserve wealth.